LinkedIn is fast becoming one of the biggest platforms to get more business bookings for your short stay accommodation business. I reached out to Rob and Brian, who are two of the best that I know at LinkedIn, and how to get more interactions, connections, and getting more people aware of your business. We did a live video interview in the hospitality community Facebook group, and we went over many things, including how to get started, how to do video, and we shared some really good tips that not only that you can do on LinkedIn, but you can also take over to Facebook and to Instagram and any other channel that you're using to promote your short stay accommodation business. Please watch this video, but most importantly, take action. There is a link at the end to a free course that Rob and Brian are currently running that you can take part in. If you want to find out more, please send me an email, mark@bookdirect.co.uk, and I'll send you on the link, or you can reach out to Rob or Brian directly on LinkedIn and they'll be able to give you more information. What I would love then, Brian, seeing that you've been on it for so long, if just give us a little overview of exactly what LinkedIn right now from your experience, please.
LinkedIn, like I said, has typically been known, just as you shared, Mark, as a CV and a place to look for a job, right? And most people in the scheme of that number I shared, 655 million people, still think of it that way. Mm-hmm. The thing is, it's really changed significantly in just the last 2 years. And the reason for that is because of what is known as LinkedIn Video. LinkedIn Video changed the game of what this place has been known as, right? It is now a place to engage.
Okay, then. So in layman's terms then, for a hospitality owner, short stay accommodation owner, we've obviously got properties, whether it's rental, whether it's a hotel or a guest house, and we could be scattered all over the world. Now, Rob, I'm going to hand this question off to you very quickly. What could be, in your opinion, a great way for somebody, like I asked people to rate their skill level. We're getting a lot of ones and a lot of zeros. So I think the best way to be, right, scale it back. Where's the best place to start? If you were to go onto LinkedIn right now and you were to sort of promote your hospitality business, your short stay accommodation business, what do you think would be a great place to get started?
I think to take a step back, and the first thing I think that we need to really address is the question of, are my customers on LinkedIn, right? Like we, as a hospitality owner, like hospitality business owner, short stay accommodations owner, you're like, okay, well, my customers are on Facebook, they're definitely on Google, they're doing Google searches and all these things. But on LinkedIn, there's lots of business being talked about, right? And there's a lot of business travelers, is that there's a big opportunity there for you to tap into, promote yourself, but also partner up with key people that are on LinkedIn that are running these things. I know, Mark, you're going to ask me for one thing, but there's a couple of really easy things that you can just like create within, like today, right? Create a company page. By creating a company page, then your company is now on LinkedIn. You want to optimize that with your city, the name of your city, and then go from there, right? The next thing, once you've done your, optimize your profiles, then you want to start creating content. It's just like Mark, like how you talk about, local marketing, right? So you want to create content around your city, talk about the different landmarks, the different places for people to see when they're there, create like videos, right? So 30, 60-second videos of like the restaurants down the street, all those things.
I'm going to quickly circle back on that, because that is a really powerful tool. And I guess that's something that most people don't think about when it comes to LinkedIn, is to attract more business bookings in this shoulder season, as we're talking about. Then you got to be doing a little things outside the box. And this is a great way of doing it by networking with other businesses, maybe in your local or county level. What you're able to do is to indirectly promote you via promoting them. Now, you never know the circles that these people walk in. They may be going to those breakfast meeting, networking meetings, or they may have a friend that's coming in, or they may know business owners that come in that visit their coffee or their cafe shop on a regular basis. And they might just have an opportune conversation where it says, oh, I'm coming in, the local place or the place that I normally stay has let me down. Do you recommend anywhere? And if you've taken that time out now in these slower seasons to link up and network with with these businesses, these local businesses, then you never know what may come. Pauline, has just done this now. Pauline Boosley, Academy member, has said, so if I were to add my cottage is on my profile, personal profile, how does that work when I don't live there? Also with the local business, is it better to do that from a business specific profile? So what she's basically meaning is Pauline doesn't live where her rental property is. She lives away from it. Now, would you recommend doing the sort of the business networking in and around where the rental property is? How are you doing it from a business specific profile? That's basically where Pauline's getting at. I guess, Brian, we'll jump in with you, seeing that Rob took the last one. Have you got any feedback on that, on how Pauline or anybody could crack that sort of question?
I think the most important part is, and this I think happens a lot, right, with owners of properties where they don't physically live in the area that the property is, and that's okay. I think the more information and insight you're able to provide, as Rob was sharing, the better, right? Because you're able to inform those potential guests of everything happening around that. Now, what I would say is in terms of right, and relationships, kind of taking on what Rob said, is while you're thinking about those business owners, the restaurants, locals, etc., all of those people that are in that surrounding area locally, you should be connecting on LinkedIn with all of them, right? And you should be, as Rob shared, collaborating, partnering with them, right? Where maybe they're posting about the ability to have access to that location at a specific time, right? Where it brings you two together, and it's like, hey, Pauline's got this great place, and it's a quick kind of image, a couple of videos, what have you, of the location, and then the partner, right, also in that video is showing what's around, highlighting their restaurant and what you can have on the menu. And maybe the end of it wraps up with, you can reach Pauline here to book stay. You can reach Joe here to reserve a reservation at this restaurant, whatever it may be. And that's a great way for people to come together.
Brian, I'm just going to circle back to yourself very quickly. Now, you spoke about LinkedIn and video being the game changer. Now, for a lot of people in this group, I know that picking up the phone, flipping the phone on themselves, talking into it is very daunting. Now, you've obviously gone through this process, been on it 16 years, you've gone through all this, and now you're obviously very confident on camera. But could you just sort of pass through some simple little tactics and tips of how to just get started?
Mark, I'm really glad that you asked the question, because I have to tell everyone, so LinkedIn video is just 2 years old. And when I started, I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. I had never put the phone in front of me like this and stared at myself and said anything. So I just want you to know, one, you're not alone. Two, it's all about just thinking about having a conversation with. So when you pull up your phone, there's some tips that I always share with people. One is, make sure that you stare at the little dot on your phone, okay? Because that's where you connect with your audience. That's where your eyes connect with them. Smile before you hit record. A smile, you have your own voice, your own unique smile, your own laugh. Use those. No more than 60 seconds. You can really say a lot in 60 seconds, guys. But just remember, you're just having a conversation with somebody. Just be you, and know that when you share your message and you're you, it always comes across the right way.
I was just going to say, just very quickly, Rob, sorry to jump in.
Yeah, sorry.
Those tips that you've just shared there can just translate to any platform, Facebook, Instagram, you name it. That is superb. Now, Rob, I've got one question just to flip around to you. Now, what is the one mistake that you see everybody do time and time and time again when they jump on LinkedIn? Brian, if you want to jump in after Rob and answer the same question, be my guest. But Rob, I'm going to hand over to you first.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks, Mark. So yeah, just to add on to Brian, when it comes to videos, don't just feel like you have to be the star of the show all the time, right? So really, if we think about it, you really aren't, right? As the business owner, you're not really the star of your show. Really, it's your guests and the neighborhood. If you're in person, right? I think one of the members here is not actually on site, but if you're on site and you come across a guest and they're checking out and they're really happy with their experience, say, hey, awesome, Lorraine, would love to get you on video. Is that okay? Could you say a few words about your stay? And then just a really quick testimonial. There's nothing better than if they're right there and just pull a camera and just say, hey, how was your stay? Keep it open-ended and you'll be surprised what they say. The one mistake is that I feel like people are too corporate corporate, they're too stiff. They feel like it's LinkedIn, it's a serious platform. As soon as you kind of throw that, misconception away and just kind of let loose and be yourself, then you have way more success. People gravitate to who you are. So don't try to be somebody who you aren't just because it's LinkedIn, just because it's got to be, really professional and I guess, like corporate-y, right? So I think that's the one mistake. I feel like people kind of turn it up a little bit differently when it comes to LinkedIn. So that's the mistake that I see.
One of the other ones, and I know it was sitting in Rob's head when he was sitting there going, which one do I want to talk about? Because I can only talk about one. Don't show up and start selling right away. It's one of the biggest mistakes that people do in every form that you can, right? It's like how you connect. Like I have thousands of invites in my inbox from people who want to connect, and rarely any of them are personalized invites. That's like X number one. But a lot of them that are literally selling me in the connection invite. I would not walk up to you in a room and go, here, sign this contract. Like Mark would look at me and go, I'm sorry, how about we back up? What's your name? I'm Mark. Right? Like you wouldn't ever do something like that in person. Don't do that online. Relationships get built the same way, but when you build them digitally, I think people naturally are just really confused how to do that, especially in a business social networking platform like LinkedIn, right? It's really the reverse, right? It's like the toilet bowl flushing in a different way, and you're trying to get used to the way the water is moving because you've never seen that happen before. Just realize that all you have to show up and be human first. And as Rob shared, just show up and be you the way that you are you. Don't show up and be a different kind of, and don't think that you have to immediately start selling. And if it's the way you can do, it's the turn off. Show up and introduce yourself. Let people know who you are. Talk about the things that interest you. Why are you an owner? Why did you decide to do this? It wasn't just, money part of it, but I'm sure there's a love for something. Like you love the way people feel when they leave your property, like that feel good that you were able to help them, you were able to give them an experience that otherwise they wouldn't have had. That's the kind of stuff you want to share and talk about because it draws them in, right? And Rob gave some great tips too in terms of testimonial. When you hear about other people's experiences, that draws you in too. You're like, oh yeah, hey, they really enjoyed that. Said they really enjoyed that. Anyway, back to the point, Mark, is just, don't sell right away in any that you're communicating on LinkedIn.
There's a lot of people that can tell that you've got a lot to say about LinkedIn. Now, there is obviously so much more to learn, and I know that people want to find out a little bit more. Tag us in if you've got any specific questions. But what Rob and Brian have done is they put together a free little course, and they wanted me to invite you. If you want to find out more about LinkedIn, you can go get started for free. If you just go to that link, boostly.co.uk/LinkedIn Rob, click on that, goes through, you sign up for free, and there are a ton of super short but super effective little courses that you can go in. So the misconceptions about LinkedIn, creating a solid LinkedIn profile, creating content, storytelling, how to actually then sell and get room bookings on LinkedIn. It's all in there. And Brian and Rob have done a fantastic job. And I really do encourage anybody who wants to just sort of do something a little bit different over these course of the next couple of weeks and months, then that will be the best place to get started. And it's free, doesn't take long to do. So I really recommend you doing it. Now, if you want to ask any questions, I'm going to let Brian and Rob be in the group for 24 hours. Now, normally, as you know, I only let hospitality owners in, but because this is a little bit different, because we've done something a little bit different tonight in this group, I'm going to allow Rob and Brian to be in the group for 24 hours. So if you've got any questions, please at Brian or at Rob, ask away, because for 24 hours you can get your questions answered. And of course you can go through to that link which I've tagged in the post, and I'll put it at the very top in the actual post description, where you can go and have a little go for free. I just want to say, Rob, Brian, thank you so much for that this evening. I know it's obviously afternoon for you guys where you are in the world, but I just want to say thank you so much for doing it. There's so many tactics and tips and little takeaways that everybody can take. And if you have any, please put them in the comments. I know for me personally, that little green light is everything that I'm looking at right now. Smile before the camera, and even flip it and put a loved one on the back of your phone if you're not confident speaking to, like, looking at your face as you're talking. Jane has just said, thank you. I am now feeling a little less allergic to LinkedIn, which is a great little way to end. Brian, Rob, thank you so much. Where's the best place apart from LinkedIn? If anybody wants to find you on Instagram or Facebook, can people do that? Can people find you on other channels apart from LinkedIn? Like, where's the best place? Rob, where's the best place for people to get in touch with you that isn't LinkedIn right now?
Yeah, aside from LinkedIn, Facebook. Just go ahead and I'm in the chat there. So just tag and say like add tag, and let's connect on Facebook, and then also on Instagram. Rob's that's my handle there.
You can do the same on Facebook, but quite frankly, LinkedIn has been my primary home almost 16 years, and that's with a purpose. So I always let people know, please connect with me there. By the way, if you do, make you personalize your invite when you reach out. Just know that you came from Mark's group, so that way I know who you are. I can connect with you there. Rob and I both would love to connect with you. We'll make sure that our link URLs are in the group chat here. But yeah, again, on Facebook, as Rob shared, just put @ please connect so that we know. And then we
100%. What we're going to do is we're going to get your LinkedIn profiles in on this post after this live video, so you can go and please, like, for anybody that's ever tried to connect with somebody on LinkedIn, you know that you can send a note and a message. Please do so, because then they'll be able to know who you are, because as you can imagine, Rob and Brian, from the work that they do, they get a lot of connection requests, and so they do like to know who is connecting. Haley has just signed up to the free course. Haley is a Boostly Academy member, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what your results are and what you figure out about LinkedIn, which is great. I know in the Boostly Academy, Rob has done a video for us in the past, which was phenomenal at the time, and it's good to sort of get an update on that. So I'm going to end it there. Guys, thank you so much. Like I say, if you've got any questions, you've got 24 hours to tag Rob and to tag Brian in the group. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you all very, very soon.